Sometimes in life, being vulnerable is a wonderful thing. In Elden Ring, we exploit that. Nearly every enemy in the game has a weakness, and finding it can trivialize a difficult challenge, like revenants being vulnerable to healing damage. The environment can also affect damage to you and enemies. Standing in a body of water amplifies lightning damage by 10% and also creates an AoE effect, while simultaneously increasing fire damage negation by 10%. Rolling in the water or being drenched from rain will add another about 10% to those numbers. Rolling in a swamp also makes you drenched with poison or scarlet rot, which causes buildup even after you've stepped out of the water. However, rot damage from being drenched in the lake of rot is a weaker version of the rot caused by standing in it, which can be useful for getting across this godforsaken place. Soap is used to stop the buildup before it procs, or just have flame cleanse me at the ready. Most enemies can be rotten or poisoned, and there's some overlap to enemies vulnerable to both, like demi-humans, tree sentinels, and godskin type enemies. Star Scourge Radon is weaker to rot, even though I thought he was technically already full of it. Using poison on poison bulbs causes them to explode. Rotten enemies like putrid tree spirits, clean rot knights, and pests are typically susceptible to frostbite, which can trigger a damage proc and increase damage to them by 20%. Dealing fire damage will remove the frostbite effect and allow you to proc it again, but I don't think it is efficient to do this versus maintaining the 20% damage increase as long as possible. Dragons have fairly even resistances to most affinities, but weapons with dragon in the name will do increased damage to, you guessed it, dragons. Or you can use dragon wound grease. Crystal darts can turn imps and burial watchdogs on their friends. 4 darts on the burial watchdog should do the trick. Gravity spells can ground flying enemies. And undead are weak to holy damage. I think it's an intuitive system. It rewards strategy instead of running in headfirst. Or you can just run in with Lion's Claw. That usually does the trick.